Hello everyone, my name is Nick Harrison with Rocky River Woodworks, and today I'm going to figure out hopefully a permanent solution for all of my clamps. These are all F-style clamps, and then two bar clamps that I have here. I've been having them on this storage rack recently. Basically they go on like this, and then they stack out from the wall. I thought that this would be better than my old one, just because I could get more clamps storing out from the wall than I could if I put them individually side by side. Turns out, yes, that's true, but I don't like this because if this clamp is at the very back and I have 6 more clamps here and that's the clamp I need, then it just gets on my nerves. So I'm gonna try to figure out a permanent solution for this. And hopefully it'll one that I'll be finally be happy with. So stick around. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, or first thing I've already done is laid out all of my clamps here. Now, this isn't everything. I do have a drawer full of miscellaneous clamps, different kinds, but as far as my F-style clamps, the ones I'm going to be putting on the wall storage, this is what I have. So I'm going to start counting them, lay them out by size and type, and go from there.
So the first thing I do is simply remove my old clamp rack from the wall, and I begin marking the layout of my clamps on my new board. Now I do mine about every 1/2 inch opening with 1 inch between the openings for these small 12-inch F-style clamps. And then I use a combination square to draw out my lines to make things easy when I get to the bandsaw. At the bandsaw, I cut the outer edges and then mill out the material between, just going back and forth with the blade. This kind of gives you an idea of what I'm talking about with the slots or the teeth. Each one of those openings will hold a clamp. Here I'm laying out a perfect square based on the width of my hold board, and then drawing a 45 and cutting those 45s. The triangle pieces, as you see here, act as a support that will go onto the ledger board or the backer board, and then I mark the length of the backer board I need and cut it out on the bandsaw. Once I get everything cut, I begin assembling everything. I just use 18-inch brad nails here to assemble the clamp rack, and then I install a 2x4 ledger board long enough to be screwed into my studs that are 16 inches on center, and then attach my clamp rack to that ledger board and install my short F-style clamps. So this rack is now complete. On to the next one. The next part of the process is pretty much rinse and repeat. The only thing that changes is the size of the openings and the space between those. As my clamps get longer and bigger, I need to adjust for that. Again, just assembling everything with 18-inch brad nails. 18-gauge brad nails. With this rack, I don't need to have a 2x4 ledger board because the rack is longer than 16 inches on center, or longer than 16 inches, so I have enough room to screw into my studs without having that ledger board. This second rack is now complete, and we're on to the third and last one. Again, this process is pretty much rinse and repeat. I do have larger gaps for those openings and larger spaces between them since they are larger clamps. After cutting everything out on the bandsaw, I cut another backer board, measure it to length, use my combination square to square up a line, cut it, and then begin assembling it together with installing the 45-degree braces as well. I get this one installed and leveled, install my clamps, and this project is complete.
So this is my new clamp rack. This is what I'm gonna roll with for now. Hope I like it. I hope you like this video. If you did, be sure to give it the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel on YouTube. You can also visit my website at www.rockyriverwoodworks.com. Also on my website, go to www.rockyriverwoodworks.com/shop. You'll find all different branding apparel that I have for sale on my website. You can also follow me on social media at RockyRiverWW. Thank you for watching.